Take you through our deep dive story into an old age home that's been raided in Noida, where nearly 42 elderly people were rescued. In fact, they were taken out in a condition where their arms and legs were tied to the bed, urinated, half naked. And this old age home is taking lots of money to care for these elderly. Taking you through all that and more in our report here, along with the flood situation that's rocked Himachal, multiple deaths that have been reported due to flash floods. Let me take you through the headlines first. Clashes erupt between police and student groups outside Kasba police station over Kolkata gang rape case. The SFI, the DYFI protests turning violent. Several injured. Detentions made amid allegations of excessive force. Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray joining hands to oppose Hindi push in Maharashtra schools. In a rare sight of unity, the two estranged brothers are coming together now to ensure that Hindi is not imposed in Maharashtra schools. So they're going to hold a joint rally on 5th of July. Annamalai to take on national role in the BJP, says Amit Shah. Will continue his key duties in Tamil Nadu. The NDA is all set to form the government in the state, is what Amit Shah says. He asserts it's the NDA's victory in Tamil Nadu this time. Stalin accuses the BJP, the AIDMK, of using religion to divide Tamil Nadu, says DMK focuses on national, people-centric issues, unlike its rivals. As Jaishankar explains why Rajnath Singh refused to sign the joint statement over the absence of a reference to terrorism in Qingdao, China. At the SEO summit, in fact, here's Jaishankar who says, when the purpose of the SEO summit is to counter terrorism, how could they not have Pahalgam's reference? It's very well understood why the defense minister refused to sign it. China rejects Pakistan's hypersonic missile request post-Operation Sindoor. Beijing cites tech secrecy, Western ties and poor weapons as reasons. Jaishankar thanking Iranian Finance Minister Saeed Abbas Araghchi for helping evacuate Indians. Over 4,400 Indians have been evacuated from Iran to India to safe zones as part of Operation Sindoor. Trump hits a very big trade deal with India after sealing China pact, says US aims to open up Indian markets following landmark agreement with Beijing. Squid Game S3 finale delivers bold twists and unsettling finish. Final season explores darker themes with silent character Ji-hoon, new player entry and a surprise ending. This is literally what's all buzzing on social platforms now. All right, let me take you through this horrific story that's coming in from West Bengal. 10 months after the rape and murder of junior doctor at RG Kar Medical College, Kolkata is now shaken by yet another horrifying crime. This time, it's a law student who was raped inside her own college premises in the heart of the city. According to the survivors' chilling police complaint that's been accessed by News 9, the crime unfolded around 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. In fact, right after a student meeting of a Trinamool Congress student wing, we hear this girl was cornered at the college premises. 3 men, who that girl refers to in a complaint as J, M and P, these are the initials that she uses to refer to, alleges that they cornered her on the campus. She says 2 of them, M and P, locked her up in a room with J attempting to rape her. She says that she fought back, she cried, she pleaded, even fell at his feet, saying that she was in love with someone else, but she was forced to strip. First of all, allegations are that the boy or the man, the accused, forced her to accept his proposal. She refused, and that's when he attempted to rape her. She claims that she begged and pleaded for mercy, but eventually was raped. She also suffered a panic attack and also asked for an inhaler. These are points that she's mentioned very clearly in her police complaint. She says she begged for an inhaler because she had shortness of breath. And in fact, M went and got back an inhaler as well. She recovered slightly, only to be dragged by them into the college guard's room after bullying the security guard there to leave. Inside that room, she says Jay stripped her, he raped her, while the other two stood and watched by. She even resisted. She says that while she tried to push away, she was hit by a hockey stick. She was filmed during the entire assault. The accused allegedly used a video to threaten her, warning that if she talked to anyone about this episode, then she'd be killed, her family will be killed, and most importantly, her boyfriend will be harmed. Now, at 10:50 p.m., finally the girl says that she was let go, with more threats, of course. But the next day, this law student made up her mind. She walked into the police station, filed a detailed complaint, and in her statement, she says, and I quote here, "Being a law student, I am now a victim. I want justice, and I'm awaiting it." This is a law student who was a victim now. In fact, earlier was worried to come forward and reveal the case, but now she says that since she's studying law, she, at least for one, should be fighting for herself. Police sources reveal the prime accused is Manojit Mishra, 31 years old, who's a former student of that same law school. The other two accused are Zaib Ahmed, 19-year-old, and Pramit Mukhopadhyay, who's 20 years old. All three were produced before the Alipur court and remanded to police custody until 1st of July. Now, what makes it even worse for the Mamita Banerjee government here in West Bengal is that the prime accused, Manojit Mishra, is a criminal lawyer and a TMCP leader, basically a student wing leader of the TMC. He's seen in photographs as well with some senior TMC netas as well. That's the man I'm talking about on our screens. And BJP, of course, at this point, hammering the TMC, accusing the ruling party there of complete failure of law and order. Multiple such cases of rape, the recent one being the RG case that's come to light, where the BJP pointing straight at the Mamita Banerjee government, calling for her resignation on moral grounds. Well, let me take you through our panelists joining us. Mamita Chakrabarti, who's a political analyst and activist, to give us a little more in detail of what she sees here. Anurag Dikshit, TMCP student leader. In fact, the main accused there, was the head of the TMCP at one point. We also have joining us Barnana Mukherjee, District President of SFI Kolkata. I will, of course, my first question here is to Anurag Dikshit, the TMCP student leader. Anurag, you know who exactly the accused here is? Manojit Mishra. He's a prime accused. If we could have his images on our screens, please. Manojit Mishra, we hear, has links with the TMC. He was part of your wing. So clearly TMC members getting a complete free hand in carrying out cases like this. The government, after RG Kar, not learning a lesson.
See, Ms. Jamal, as you talk about my affiliation with TMCP and the links which the accused possesses with my federation, my Chhatra Parishad, I would clearly like to mention that I have been into student politics for a long time, since my graduation, undergraduation, but I have never seen this person through my eyes, point number one. Point number two, my president cleared the point out in a press conference held today at the Trinamool Bhavan, which is our party head office, that the person, the accused, has no links with TMCP, and in no recent committees announced, whether it is a state committee or it is a district committee or it is a college unit committee, he has not been a member of any of such committees. Now, secondly, when you talk about the whole incident, we as a society, irrespective of our parties and irrespective of our, ideologies, we condemn this. And from my part, from being associated with the TMCP and the state government students wing, I completely demand through your channel, which is a national channel, that the victim must be hanged and nothing less than that. Now, about the connections and about the incidents and all the, the contemporary situation which is created near the Kasbah Thana by the opposition parties, that is very clear, and that seems that the parties wants to toast their bread on this fire, and they don't want the society to learn something, and they are not doing it moral grounds. When we talk about SFI, which is whose parent party CPIM is in West Bengal, they do such programs just for their political mileage and nothing else. Also, coming to the BJYM program, they did a similar program. We say that a victim does not belong to any party, a victim does not belong to any religion, and a victim does not possesses any different or special ID. Whether it is a victim of West Bengal, the accused of West Bengal, whether the accused is in West Bengal or in any other state, accused is accused, and he must not be treated specially with any affiliation to any party or any religion. So that's a clear stand
Anurag
of my
Dixit,
party.
we are looking at people in a way connected to the TMC having a free run. RG Kar, we saw a similar episode that panned out in a government hospital of West Bengal, in Kolkata hospital. We know, I was there myself on the ground. So somehow TMC members or affiliates feel emboldened. They feel they're above the law. And that seems to be the trend as we see here. Look at the protests that panned out. Barnana Mukherjee, would you want to step in on this? Huge protests outside the college campus. That girl, a law student, I feel so sorry for her. The police complaint, as per her quote, she says that I was scared to come out, but then I told myself I'm a law student. If I don't fight for myself, who will? And I want justice.
Actually, every female student and every girl student in West Bengal in this era is not safe. Starting from the Park Street victim to the Madhyam and Tilottama and so on. We have faced several problems within our city and within our Bengal. And the thing my dear friend was telling that that Monojit was not associated with TMC and all. I request you all to go through his profile once. Then you will get to know actually what is what. The campuses are being terrified by these hooligans, and these hooligans are being supported and being sheltered by TMCP and this TMC government. And to be very honest, in this time, in this era, TMCP is actually removing their name after the incident happened. When Sandeep Ghosh was accused in the time of the Archikor movement, they have told they have no connection with this. Every rape cases from a 13-year-old child in Hashkali to this final year student of South Kolkata Law College, we have seen that every time in and every spaces, the name of TMCP has been raised. But every time TMCP is denying, actually they are actually sheltering these hooligans and this rapists. In the time of Tilottama, we have told, SFI have told, that this is a case of campus democracy, and right now also we are very serious to mention the campus democracy is affecting because there is no students' union election since 2017 in our Bengal, and to be more specific, the students' union election needs to be done, and the ICC elections, what we say to be as GS Cash, who need to be seen the sexual harassments and or any problem faced by any of the students or any of the female students within the campus. We strongly condemn this incident and we stand by the victim, and we want clear ICC election and students' union election within the campuses to build a specific democratic campus and a hassle-free campus where this incident doesn't happen. As we want to mention, from Tilottama to the South Kolkata Law College, we are not safe. The female students are not safe. The women of the Bengal
if you say that you're not safe, then something is inherently wrong in law and order there in Kolkata. I can't imagine after RG Kar, the government did not really flex itself and ensure more security at least government-run institutions. Is this law college or government college? Anurag Dixit, you want to clarify? I will come to you, Mamita. But a quick look from the TMC representative here in a way. Anurag Dixit, after RG Kar, what were the stops that the government pulled to ensure that there was enough security cover for women and women didn't feel vulnerable, at least in government-run institutions?
Ms. Jamal, I would like to clarify the points which my senior colleague, I would say, from SFI told, and also about your contentions that what the government did. I would like to make the whole nation remember that West Bengal is a state which is run by a woman chief minister, and women of West Bengal have always shown the way, and Bengal has always shown the way to rest of the country for women upliftment and for women rights. We are from the state from where Raja Ram Mohan Roy hailed. We are from the state from where Vidyasagar hailed, who talked about widow remarriage. Now coming back to the point, what my friend from SFI said, that because of student selection, there is no campus democracy and there is no forum to speak out. And when you talk about what are the contentions and what are the steps taken by the government for ensuring such steps have been taken, some steps and complaints can be lodged, I would like to clarify. I don't know how she can say that she's a student leader if she is not aware of the ICC internal complaint committee, anti-ragging committee, and sexual harassment committees, and many UJC normed and UGC mandated committees inside the campus, of which the students are member, as well as there are police officers, inspector in charges, ACPs, DCPs, somewhere commissioner of police is also member. So there are appropriate forums, but see, we are not talking about that whether there was a forum or not. We are talking about that a shameful incident which took place in our educational premises, which was government sponsored. I completely buy the emotions and sentiments of all the people protesting out there and all the people hearing me saying this to your channels and through your channel. And this is for very sure that such incidents are not against any party or any gender, to be specific. It is not only about an incident against a woman or maybe a girl. This is against the society, against humanity, and against the human race. I would like to mention this again, that state government has taken various steps by making additional committees with additional portfolios, which includes many society members, society representatives inside the campuses. Point number one. Point number two, women helpline has been started in the colleges, and that has been displayed by the nodal officers of the colleges, and several internal steps of the college organizations have also been taken.
Let me bring in Mamita Chakravarti. Mamita, what's your take? We saw the BJP is at this point has every ammunition against the Mamata Banerjee government, and rightly so. We're looking at multiple cases of rape, a case of murder, rape and murder in the case of RG Kar, which was barely 10 months ago. Even before people in Kolkata could recover from that horror, here's a fresh one and as gory.
Well, so to start with, Nabila, I will just take 1 minute to show these photographs. I'm not sure if it is visible properly. Yeah, so this is Abhishek Banerjee. Okay, and this is this person Manoji. So answering to your question, first I would like to highlight to Mr. Anurag, whatever he was saying, he was and that lady Barnali, something like that. So they were actually justifying that person Manojit is not involved and associated to any way with TMCP or Trinamool thing, right? So I think I need to remind them and I need to help them to recall that that person Manojit was he was graduated in the year of 2022, and after that he was rehired as a contractual staff by an MLA of TMC government, the TMC political party, and also he was engaged with some part-time activities with the college political thing, especially the union union politics and thing. That is why he entered the college on that day, because to organize some event thing and all, and also he is a very close to the college governing body. And why all time we can see that the former students are allowed to enter the college. If you talk about this college, South Kolkata Law College, then also we have seen the same thing with Jadavpur. That is something different. So now I would expect Anurag to justify this after I finish my thing. And now I'm coming to your point, Nabila. So these hospitals are actually becoming the haunted ground, and those colleges are actually college campuses turned endangering the women, and both these places are to heal and educate people, not to kill and harm people like this way. So the West Bengal the present government of West Bengal, they should protect their daughters, not to protect their cadres, and not to give the back support to the culprits like that. If you and another thing, if I talk about the rape cases starting from Park Street to this, if you remember that Hashkali, there was the involved person named Sameer and some Sakir or something like that. They
Yeah.
were also TMC people. Then if you talk about this Park Street, I mean this Kaliaganj, we can see that how badly the police force were dragging the naked body of that 10 years old girl. And next, if we talk about that RG Kaur, when we say RG Kaur, we know Sandeep and Sanjay. They are very close to TMC people. So this is also very shocking for us who live in West Bengal, who belong to West Bengal state, because we feel very ashamed to represent our state broadly these days. Because this government is failed to give the security and support to the ladies especially, but they have been protecting the predators years after years after years, and it's already 13 years past. So now my question
What
is
a
why
shame.
it we all sorry.
Yeah, what a shame. Anurag Dikshit, unfortunately, I don't have a TMC
But
representative,
yes,
so it's
that
for you
person,
to respond.
please justify that. Why
have
you
your-
guys are
you have
always
your-
denying that that person was not involved to any TMCP position?
Yeah,
or
to
post,
say
then why
that
this
they
photograph
have
with
never
Abhishek
seen him in
Banerjee?
my years. You might be honest about it, but the TMC at this point is very strategically distancing yourself. Will you own up, responsibility of the person being affiliated with your party? I mean, I know you can't take responsibility for everyone's behavior, but the fact that he was associated with the TMC, first things first, the party must admit. Yeah.
Ms. Jamal, I would like to clearly mention. See, if I lie on your channel, it is not. See, this is a digital platform, and the world has globalized. The world has went into technology. You can clearly bring out the facts. I challenge the panelists who are sitting with me, be it Mamita Di or be it my Didi from SFI. Can they show any committee, any releases? See, when we talk about party, there could be many supporters who could support this party and who could work for the party voluntarily. But when we talk about the portfolios and the positions, how would we get to know who is a minister or who is a minister for food processing, who is a minister for fire and emergency? There's a list, right? Similarly, TMCP has lists. We do releases for our committees. Can anyone show a list? He was associated to us till 2019. He was in our committee till 2019. Now, also if he would be in any committee associated to TMCP or TMC can never take responsibility of any individual behavior. I think that is very clear. But there is no association of this person with TMC or TMCP. Now, I would like to just show a picture, similar picture my dear sister shown us. See, I don't know whether it would be visible on the camera or not, but see, this picture is from the IIT BHU case. We all heard about the IIT BHU case. You see the victims with various BJP leaders. And no one said on this. No political activist came and said on this. There was no take of them on this. Why? Just because they were from an individual party and they had connection with various big leaders. What I'm establishing is, in a party, you shown a picture of that person with my honorable president of TMCP. In a public forum, in a public meetings, in public rallies, anybody can approach ministers. In fact, anybody could approach near to any big shot minister or any big shot leader. Not only in TMCP, not only in TMC, in any other party.
See, this photograph was taken not in a public place. That was at his office.
Let me.
Are you blind or what? Can't you see that?
Anurag, you have pictures for proof, and you have Mamita very clearly flashing that on her phone.
No. You will get your chance.
Yeah, that was clearly evident that is taken inside the office.
I request Miss
Mamita,
can she tell that this is picture of which date? Can she tell me the date?
That can be with any of us.
It is of which date?
Miss
Mamita, this picture is of which date?
How can you defend like that way?
How old this picture is?
Way out here, come on.
How old this picture is?
How can you justify things?
Please don't shout. Let's talk properly so that the nation can hear us.
This is the
not
time.
in loud
If
and
we
not in
cannot
shouting.
speak now,
This picture is of which year?
Come on.
Just single
What
point question.
What are you talking about, man?
Just single point question, Didi. This picture is of which year? Is it of 2024, 2023, 22, 21, 20? Of which year? See,
Why
flashing
are you
out pictures from
denying
archives and
his
showing them
association
does
with
not
TMC?
establishes your point. I buy your sentiments
No, but
totally.
whichever
I
year
have a sister.
it
I
is, Anurag, but whichever year it is, if he's affiliated with a party, then he is. And this is not the only case. The outrage is coming because of the multiple cases in the last few years alone. Right. But I just have one simple question, Anurag Dixit. After RG Kar, what were the real measures that were taken to ensure women's safety? Barana Mukherjee, would you want to say what real measures did Mamita Banerjee take up? We saw there were candlelit marches that TMC carried out in solidarity with the RG Kar victim. But did they really hold concrete measures, or did they actually have better security safeguards put in place to ensure Kolkata women are safe, or women across West Bengal are safe?
Actually, my friend from TMCP firstly mentioned the thing that our state is run by a female, and that is the most sarcastic statement of our state. After 2011, we thought that our state is run by a female chief minister. We, the female ones, we the ladies, will be a bit safe in our state. But the thing is, and the thing continues, that we are not actually safe. We have already mentioned which kind of people and which kind of officials may be there in the ICC. I am very much aware of that, because he forgets that I am a female and I am a student, and I know that. And the rest is in the era and in the regime of TMC in West Bengal in the last 13 years. They actually speak that they will give shelters to the people, but as we have seen, the women's security, the security of the women is absolutely annulled in our state. There are several issues, from Hashkali to today's case to Tilottama to Mudhamgram. There are several cases, and every time they told that they will look after this, but every time there is a version that TMCP or TMC is associated with this. I just want to know, being a female, rather than my political identity, I just want to know, than a female, that these TMCP peoples or the government is giving shelters to the rapists and actually doing lathi charge and arresting the people who are protesting against it. Is this the culture of Bengal? I just want to know from my friend who is actually telling me that Bengal is a safe state.
That's all I have to say.
Can I take 1 minute?
Your last, as I'm short on time here, your last take, Mamita. What would you like to say to Mamita Banerjee, who's a woman governing a state?
You must know that in West Bengal, this TMC government is extension of CPIism. But if you ask me why, I'm telling you, if you remember in 1990, that Bantala rape case, the 3 health workers were raped and brutally murdered. So every time in West Bengal, whatever the rape cases come, we all remember about that Bantala case, and many other cases, not only Bantala. So now the thing is that the question will always be there: why in West Bengal, why this government is actually unable to give the security and safety to the women? Why the CCTV is not implanted properly, and why there are no proper security protocols and all? See, this is definitely not about only the bad apples. It's all about the systematic chain procedure which has been following by the government blindly. And if being a normal citizen, if you raise your voice, you will be arrested in the next day. You will be trapped either by the false cases will be against you. You will be thrown out to the jail. So that's what is happening. So in the global platform,
absolutely shameful. A law college that's turned into a crime scene for gang rape, and all this under the nose of the TMC student union wing. If there was a meeting that was held a little earlier there of the TMC students union, a crime like this that happened right in the close vicinity and proximity of that meet, it's just absolutely shocking. I'm sorry I have no more time to give either of you, but I really appreciate that you have joined us on this story. I'm only hoping and praying that the victim there gets justice, and soon enough. On that note, we're slipping into a short break. We're coming back with Puri stampede. The situation seems to have worsened, over 300 injured. We're going to take you through those images on the other side. Stay with us.
Hey, careful, huh? My daddy got it from abroad. Hey, disaster! How will you pay for the loss now?
In stock market, you should take risk as per your capacity and knowledge. Trade in options very carefully.
Wow, Dikra! Absolutely perfect. Take risk with full understanding.
सोच कर समझ कर
It's never easy to choose a new path, stand out in the crowd, to have your own new identity. The journey to self-reliance begins when you're fully prepared. Tata Motors Commercial Vehicles presents the new Ace Pro, now in biofuel, EV and petrol variants. So get ready to say it loud. Ace Pro, अब मेरी बारी.
पार्टी हॉर्न्स भी होने चाहिए, मंगा लेती हूँ. स्ट्रॉबेरी भी मंगा लेती हूँ, खाकरा मंगवा लेती हूँ, थेपला भी मंगवाएगी, थेपला भी मंगवा लेती हूँ, छाछ मंगवा लेती हूँ, स्पार्कलिंग कैंडल्स मंगवा लेती हूँ. अलग अलग मत ऑर्डर कर, एक बार में मंगवा. एफर्ट्स और पैसे दोनों बचा. सेविंग्स की विद्या तो कोई तुझसे सीखे. और बता, जब पैसा हो बचाना, फेडरल बैंक से रिश्ता बनाना.
Every brand tells a story. And they are the storytellers. The Sutradhars. They present a brand with band, baja and barat to you. They are the Brandwalas.
All right, let me cut across to a story unfolding at this point. A stampede-like situation that's unfolded during the Odisha's world-famous Rath Yatra today. That's left over 500 devotees injured in Puri. These are live images. In fact, just a few minutes ago, images coming in of devotees being taken to hospitals. It's happened during the ceremonial pulling of Lord Balabhadra's chariot, when a massive crowd surge caught devotees off guard. Eyewitnesses say people fell over one another in the scramble as security struggled to manage the overwhelming rush. 8 people are currently in critical condition, admitted to nearby hospitals. The scale of the crowd was huge. There are unconfirmed reports that suggest nearly 10 lakh odd people could have come in. We're assuming this is floating crowd. But during that chariot pull, there could have been a sudden surge of crowds, and reports are that nearly 500 people have been injured. Crowds completely overwhelmed. In fact, security personnel particularly weren't able to handle that surge. At key checkpoints along the Grand Road, there was huge crowds. Those are images that are coming in live from Puri, Odisha, from the Rath Yatra areas. Odisha government has activated all emergency protocols. Additional medical teams and ambulances have been rushed in. Hospitals in Puri and Bhubaneswar are on high alert. Authorities are yet to confirm any deaths, but of course critical cases are now mounting. The fear, of course, is real for those who have been hospitalized. The tragic mishap here casting a shadow on the otherwise spiritually charged Rath Yatra. Lakhs of people that reach Odisha, Puri annually to be part of this grand spiritual celebration, the Rath Yatra. And despite all the planning and police deployment, security personnel in place, it seems like a situation like this was unavoidable. We're looking at much over 300 people who've been injured. So casualties are yet to be confirmed. Whether or not there have been deaths, that confirmation has to come in. We're awaiting that, but these are visuals live coming in of devotees injured and being taken to hospitals in the vicinity. The hospitals are all on standby in high alert. Well, crowd control measures have been adopted, is what the police say. Despite that, despite all the planning and massive deployment of forces, it seems like something has gone amiss. Now, one of India's biggest festivals, the Rath Yatra, shadowed by this stampede-like situation. I'm going to confirm that official reports are yet to come in. But from what we know from sources on ground, over 300 people have been injured in the Rath Yatra. And if there is a death toll, we are unaware of as yet. For the moment, there's no confirmation on how many people have lost their lives or whether there have been any fatalities. But for now, many of them injured have been rushed to hospital. So all security mechanism there on high alert, and of course medical staff that are currently on overdrive, ensuring that people brought in are treated with urgency. This is a festival where thousands, lakhs rather, flock in to be part of the festival fair. Unfortunately, this stampede-like situation casting a shadow. Cutting across to Himachal, where we're looking at flash floods that's led to multiple deaths, several missing. Very grave situation there for people in Himachal at this point, as flash floods triggers intense cloudbursts. In fact, it has been triggered by intense cloudbursts, wreaking havoc across parts of Kangra and Kullu districts. The death toll has now risen to 5, with 3 more bodies recovered near a hydroelectric project in Kangra. Search operations remain in full swing to trace at least 6 people who are still missing. Rescue efforts are currently on, but it's hampered every now and then due to the treacherous terrains and bad weather. Joint teams from NDRF, SDRF, as well as police and home guards, all working round the clock in affected regions. Dharamshala's NDRF commandant Baljinder Singh has said search to trace 6 missing people still on.
तक जो हमको डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से जो अथॉरिटीज से हमको पता चला, अभी 6 की ही मिसिंग की रिपोर्ट है। और अभी आपके सामने देखा होगा आपने, एक हमने जो जॉइंट ऑपरेशन था एनडीआरएफ का और एसडीआरएफ का, हमने एक डेड बॉडी को रिकवर किया है।
Well, among the deceased are workers from Jammu and Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh, Nurpur and Chamba, who were at a makeshift labour camp near the Indira Priyadarshini hydroelectric project in Kaniyara village when a sudden surge in the Manuni Khad stream swept through the area. Officials say 250 to 275 workers were present at that site during that time. Of course, political voices now weighing in. BJP MLA Sudhir Sharma has blamed both contractors and project authorities for negligence, alleging that workers were not moved to safety despite worsening weather conditions. Very sad to see these workers are bearing the brunt of poor planning. Let's listen in.
मानना है कि 15 से 20 लोग बह गए हैं। उसका कारण ये है कि ये जो मेरा घर है उससे 1 किलोमीटर भी ये जगह नहीं है और ये हमारा गांव है। तो यहाँ से जब पहली सूचना आई थी गांव वालों की, तो उन्होंने मुझे फ़ोन करके बताया था कि भाई साहब 15 से 20 लोग बह गए, बहुत ज़्यादा पानी आया है। और आंकड़ा वही है। सरकारी आंकड़े तो बाद में आए जब टीमें पहुंची हैं, मौके तक गई हैं। अब तो ऊपर तक अभी रास्ता खुला ही नहीं है और डेड बॉडी कितना नीचे 700-800 मीटर तक एक डेड बॉडी मिली है। जो मशीनरी थी, बड़ी बड़ी पॉकलेन्स और ये जेसीबीज, उनके सिर्फ टायर मिले हैं। तो आप खुद अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि ह्यूमन बॉडी को ढूंढना कितना मुश्किल है। और ये जो यहाँ पर आगे कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को आगे सब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया हुआ था प्रोजेक्ट वालों ने लेबर रखने का, सारी लेबर चंबा, किहार, सलूनी, जम्मू से लोग आए हुए थे रोजी रोटी के लिए। तो दुखद घटना है और मेरा तो मानना है कि ये प्रोजेक्ट को भी पेनल्टी लगा करके इनको उचित मुआवजा मिलना चाहिए।
Now in Kullu, another 3 people, including a 14-year-old, are still missing in Rehla, Bihal, while flash floods have been reported in Manali and Banjar. Roads are blocked, water and power supply has been fully disrupted in multiple areas. Authorities have urged residents and visitors to stay away from low-lying areas and riverbanks, with more rain forecast in the coming days. Now a quick look also at down south Kerala, multiple districts that have been sounded a red alert. Let me take you through in Kerala. That's worries there triggered by rising water levels in key reservoirs, leading to the opening of spillway shutters across 11 dams in Kerala. These are visuals from Idukki. The Mullaperiyar Dam, meanwhile, continues to be closely monitored. Water level stands at 135 feet, and if it reaches 136 feet, the Irrigation and Dam Safety Department is expected to release excess water through the spillway shutters. In Kochi, the Periyar River has begun to overflow. Water has entered the Aluva Mahadeva temple as well, raising concerns about further inundation in the region. That's the visual of the temple that's fully inundated. Authorities are now urging residents living near the river banks and downstream areas to remain alert and follow official instructions. With rainfall expected to continue, the situation does remain tense across several districts of Kerala, including Idukki, Pathanamthitta and Wayanad. Some really devastating loss for India's wildlife. Story that came in from Karnataka has really broken our hearts. 5 tigers have been found dead in a single day in Karnataka. A mother and her 4 cubs killed inside the Mahadeshwara Hills Wildlife Sanctuary. The Hugyam Forest Range, which is now the site of a suspected mass poisoning, saw a 10-year-old tigress and her cubs, just 8 to 10 months old, all discovered lifeless there. It's Karnataka's worst single-day tiger casualty at one location. Postmortem suggests poisoning. In fact, a half-eaten cow carcass was found near the bodies of those tigers that we suspect now may have been laced with deadly 4-8 pesticide. Forest officials, in fact, suspect the hand of villagers there. And unconfirmed reports suggest that the villagers may have poisoned the cow and placed it in that suspicious area, hoping that the tigers would feed on that poisonous cow. That's exactly what has happened here. Of course, investigation will reveal and confirm these rumors, but as per forest officials, they claim that villagers may have been very frustrated. They may have acted out of anger because there have been many reports of villagers' cattle that have been attacked and killed by these big cats. Conversationists now say that the problem in fact runs much deeper here. There's been field staff shortages, delayed payments to these staffers and poor enforcement of forest protection plans that's left these sanctuaries like Hills vulnerable. The high-level probe is currently on. PCCF BP Ravi, the Chief Wildlife Warden T. Harirlal, Dr. Sanjay Gubbi and a NTCA representative are all currently leading the investigation. Forest Minister of Karnataka, Ishwar Khandre, has demanded full report within 14 days. He promises action. But remember, tigers in India are Schedule 1 Class A protected animals. The guilty could face up to 14 years in prison.
ನಮ್ಮದೇನು ಇವತ್ತು ವಿಜಿಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ವಿಜಿಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಥನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಂಬರುವಂತಹ ದಿನಮಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ನಡೆದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಸೂಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಖುದ್ದಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆ ಸ್ಥಳಕ್ಕೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅರಣ್ಯ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ಕ್ರಮ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ.
Now, viscera and meat samples have been sent for testing. Villagers are being questioned. Do remember, villagers have denied this. They say that they have no role to play in this, but tensions are high on the ground. There are also growing concerns if at all these villagers are being compensated adequately and in time for livestock killed by these wild animals. And therefore, that could have led to the frustration here. Karnataka has 563 tigers, which is second only to Madhya Pradesh. Yet the Hills Sanctuary, which is spread over 906 square kilometers, has waited 16 years for tiger reserve status. The proposal continues to gather dust. In fact, conservationists have asked and begged for this area to be declared a sanctuary, but hasn't happened. Activists are now calling for a shift in focus. They want the focus to change from push to tourism to pushing better protection and patrolling in forest areas like Hills. A quick look at this big con job that had the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh itself being a victim. A convoy of 19 vehicles escorting Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav broke down, allegedly due to adulterated diesel, just 10 kilometers before his Ratlam event. The high security fleet had just refueled at Shakti fueling station near Dosigaon. Within minutes, the car started sputtering. In fact, we believe that the car stopped right ahead of the pump. some other cars of his convoy gave up barely 500 meters away. Officials and security personnel had to be rushed into private vehicles. A major logistical embarrassment for the Chief Minister's convoy, of course, and the Chief Minister himself. The shocking part here, and preliminary checks suggest that the diesel that was used to fill into these cars of the CM's convoy was contaminated with water. It was likely rainwater seeping into underground tanks. Basic collapse there, but one that crippled an entire convoy. This isn't just about one incident. Fuel adulteration, of course, on one hand is a nationwide menace, so you can't rule that out if this was malpractice that was consciously done. And it does hit the common man harder. Well, the convoy could manage, they pulled in all their strings to get past it. But what if this happens to you and I? Engine damage, breakdowns, safety risks, all because your fuel is contaminated. How would you even know? Over 10,000 litres of diesel and 6,000 litres of petrol has now been sealed there. 3 samples are sent to lab for investigation. The pump is also shut. The station's owners, Shanti and Hemraj Bundela, face charges under Essential Commodities Act. Let's just hope this is a one rare incident that's reported and not a countrywide phenomenon. A quick break. When we come back to take you through a very tragic story of over 40 elderly people who were rescued from an old age home in the worst conditions possible. Stay with us.
पार्टी हॉर्न्स भी होने चाहिए, मंगा लेती हूँ। खाकरा मंगवा लेती हूँ। थेपला भी मंगवाएगी। थेपला भी मंगवा लेती हूँ। अलग अलग मत ऑर्डर कर, एक बार में मंगवा। एफर्ट्स और पैसे दोनों बचा। सेविंग्स की विद्या तो कोई तुझसे सीखे। जब पैसा हो बचाना, फेडरल बैंक से रिश्ता बनाना।
A deep dive into what matters to you the most. Angles you won't find anywhere else. News that impacts your life.
Here's a quick look at a so-called old age home in Noida that's turned out to be a house of horror for over 40 elderly people. Locked inside rooms, some in fact tied to beds, others laying naked or in clothes stained with urine and feces. This is what officials found inside the Anand Niketan Vridha Ashram in Noida. A shocking video that went viral on social media exposed the facilities there. State Women's Commission, Welfare Department and Noida Police raided that place, and what they found was horrific. Senior citizens kept in a basement-like rooms. Women were tied down to their beds. Some had no clothes on, and there was no one attending to their needs. Very sad and tragic to see the elderly kept in such a condition. Let's have a listen.
कल मैं नोएडा सेक्टर 55 स्थित एक वृद्धाश्रम में गई थी। उस आश्रम में मैंने देखा कि उस आश्रम में वृद्धों की स्थिति इतनी खराब है कि आप जेल को कहते थे कभी कि जेल खराब होती है, वो जेल से भी बदतर स्थिति है। इतना गलत वहां हमने देखा। लोगों ने टॉयलेट पोटी की हुई अपने कपड़ों में, वो बेसुध पड़े हैं, कोई देखने वाला नहीं है। एक एक पंखे चल रहे हैं, वो भी बहुत कम स्पीड पे।
Only one nurse, a 12th pass woman, was found caring for these elderly people, of over 40 of them. The home was illegal. It was not registered. We hear this ashram or an elderly home was in fact functioning without legit papers. No license, no trained medical staff. Families of these elderly citizens were made to pay nearly 2.5 lakhs in donation and 6,000 every month for food and care for their loved ones, but this is exactly how they were treated. Now, what they got here, unfortunately, was abuse, isolation and neglect. 3 of the rescued have been shifted to government-run old age homes. The rest are being moved to state-approved shelters. Anand Niketan has been sealed, but serious questions now remain. how did this really go unchecked? Who allowed this to operate in the first place? And what action will be taken against those who profited off the pain of the elderly? These are our elders. They are people who should have been surrounded by love and dignity in their final years. But here, even the most basic care was denied. They were left to suffer in silence, tied and locked behind doors. Their children, their families, handed them over to this place, paid lakhs of rupees to this care center and never came back to check what kind of life that their parents or their loved ones are living. And that might just be the deepest wound of this all. I have with me joining us Rekha Agarwal, advocate and social activist, also Sema Singha, social activist. For more, Rekha, my heart breaks. I was so emotional watching the story this morning. How could one? My only question is, how could families just ignore, admitting their elderly loved ones to these centers, paying lakhs of rupees as fees, but not once turning around to see how they are being kept? Look at the women there tied to their beds.
Nabila, in fact, I'm so disturbed even right now while seeing the visuals, on the TV screen. And I just read the reports. In fact, the whole day long, I was not aware of this story, and I just read it. And seeing the visuals is actually very horrifying. And this just shows the abject state, the conditions that the elderly in our country are being made to live in. And it's a sorry state of affairs, but particularly I wonder why the children have abandoned them in the first place. Why can't the children be looking after them? As I say, what goes around, comes around. And I'm quite certain that their parents must have cared for them like all parents do for their children when they're young. And now when it's their turn, for the children's turn to take care of the parents, this is the way they've just kind of, got rid of the responsibility by paying a certain amount of money, whether it is 2.5 lakhs or whatever, and some amount which is paid monthly. This is not the way to kind of just put away your elderly people in old age homes. In India, we even believe in the concept of Vasudev Kutumbakam. The entire world is a family. And then what are we doing if we can't look after our own parents? What is the point of saying that the world is our family? So I think that we should all hang our heads in shame. It's a collective failure of our responsibility towards our elderly citizens. And in a democratic, secular country like ours, and where the constitution is there, which guarantees us fundamental rights. And one of the biggest fundamental rights, Nabila, that we have which is there for every citizen, irrespective of caste, or creed, or age, is the right to live a life the way you want and the right to live a life of dignity. So that is what Article 21 of the Constitution provides us. And if this is what they are being made to live in these kind of conditions, I think that the government needs to pull up its socks. The UP government, Chief Minister should look into this matter. I'm glad that the UP State Commission has, the Women's State Commission, Meenakshi has...
in fact, Sema Singha, Ms. Rekha, Sema Singha, who's sitting with us, is in fact the lady who exposed this. She was part of the raids. She took that very video that's now gone viral. Sema, thank you very much for doing what you did. What did you see there?
Thank you so much for inviting me. On Wednesday evening, we got a video from my friend Deepa Jain. She's a lawyer, and the lady who's seen in the picture is a Reiki master, and she has worked in a British embassy. So she's highly qualified, and she's not a doctor. She's a Reiki grandmaster. She's a pranic healer. And when we saw the video, we were so shocked, and we thought what to do. Then one of my friends, Shada Chaturvedi, has seen in the picture. She's a Mahila Adhyaksh, BJP, but she's more of a social worker. So we got in touch with her, and then we decided to speak to PMO, CM, and everybody, Mahesh Sharma, MLA, MP, whatever we thought at that time, we did everybody. And then in the morning, we asked Sharda ji to call Meenakshi Paralaji, and she's seen in the picture. And then we decided we'll go without informing anybody, because Nilima, who looks after the ashram, and the Krishna, who is office bearer, they are very mischievous people, because I stay in the same sector. And so many people had complained that she doesn't allow anybody to go in the room. She'll allow anybody just to go in the reception area, meet the ladies, do some social work, do some volunteer work, and come back. So we had so many complaints, but we never used to got the evidence. So when we saw the evidence, then we went there to just see the baby and ask her, and so that we can take her out. When we went there, we started going to the different rooms. And then what we saw, that most of the ladies and the senior citizen, they were lying on the bed. The bed sheet was torn, very old. It was stinking, and they were not using. There was no diaper found, because usually you find a diaper with these people, because they're not. And the most important, amazing thing was there was only one nurse, and she was with and she used to stay only till 5 o'clock. And there was no nurse in the night, and there was no caretaker also. Then when we went to some other room, some person from that ashram only told, go to the third floor, second floor, and you'll find 2-3 rooms locked from outside. But when asked Krishna, the office bearer, that we should go and see the room, he was making some excuses, go this side, go that side. Then finally, Meenakshi ji, Sharda Chaturvedi, me, everybody went there, and we insisted, I want to see this room. When we went inside the room,
Ma'am, would you have any idea whether the family members of these elderly, have they even bothered to come and check after placing them there? They're paying lakhs of rupees as donation to this.
No, the person who was seen the mat is a doctor man, and he was just wearing a knicker and a plain bed. He was sleeping with a old utensil and 2 pieces of mango. That was his old food holding. And on the places you can see the urinal and everything lying on the floor. And what the Nilima ji said, he is mad. ये पागल आदमी है, इसलिए इनको हम बाहर से बंद करते रहते. Imagine, ma'am, you can see there was no ventilation, nothing, and this heat is inside the room, locked for almost like 10 years. So you can imagine.
How many years? How many years did you say they're there?
Almost like 10 years.
My God.
Locked. There are other 2 people also, and one lady was missing from there. She has been locked for almost 12 years. They had they had shifted somewhere else. So, ma'am,
any idea of the family members? A quick word. Any idea of the family members of these elderly?
Yeah, we asked them why your family members are not coming. This elder person, he said, this is the best thing my children have given me. Anmol gift tofa diya unhone mujhe yahan shift kara ke. And most of the ladies, they said, ma'am, usme kuch few ladies were like working ladies, they have not got married. और कुछ के ऐसे थे जिनकी लड़कियां थी, they had excuse कि हम अपनी बेटियों के साथ नहीं रह सकते. They had different excuse, but सब बहुत डरे हुए थे. They all were so scared to even open the mouth for Nilima and Krishna, because उनको बहुत torture करके रखा गया.
Ma'am,
it's the issue of
I thank you here on News 9, and I thank you for exposing this and moving these elderly people to safe government-run elderly homes. They are now in a safe space. I thank you very much, as we're short on time, Ms. Rekha and Ms. Simha. Appreciate your time. On that note, I wrap this bulletin right here. Have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday.
What is to the nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world. To the nines is about taking charge. It's a way of life where every seam, every fold, is crafted with excellence. It's timeless elegance and uncompromising quality made for the corner office. It's the ideas that inspire redefining order and elevating the tabletop. To the nines, for the leaders of today and the visionaries of tomorrow.
Light, camera, and action. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite snack, because News 9 is here with your weekend dose of entertainment. It's time to take a deeper dive into the buzzworthy happenings of the entertainment world. From celebrity gossips to exclusive conversations, from nostalgic moments to News 9's pick of the week, don't worry, we've got you covered here. And I hope you've grabbed your popcorn by now, because News 9's page 3 is here to serve you everything that we call entertainment. So do stay tuned every Saturday and Sunday, 2:30 p.m.
Every brand tells a story. And they are the storytellers. The Sutradhars. They present a brand with band, baja and barat to you. They are the Brandwalas.
Is this politics of appeasement?
That is the ground reality.
The violence continued unabated for the next 24 hours. Why is there Mamita for Pahalgam but not for Murshidabad?
Everyone in Pakistan is saying that India has punished us. We are all agreeing that Operation Sindoor is a success. तो प्रॉब्लम क्या है? किसका नमाज़े जनाजा निकल रहा था बहावलपुर में और रावलपिंडी में?